The biggest surprise today in the college football world was Auburn deciding to fire head coach Gus Malzahn. But there was something else that took place today that was more surprising to me than Auburn deciding to fire Gus Malzahn. And that is former UCF star quarterback McKenzie Milton deciding to transfer to Florida State. Now, for those of you guys who do not remember who McKenzie Milton was the star quarterback for UCF that 2017-2018 season when UCF went undefeated. They upset Auburn in the Peach Bowl, and they now claim themselves the 2017 self-proclaimed national champions. Now, McKenzie Milton, the season after, suffered a severe leg injury. And this leg injury was so severe to the point that nobody even knew if he was ever going to be able to play football again. So fast forward 2 years later to now, McKenzie Milton, a couple of days ago, entered the transfer portal. And when McKenzie Milton entered the transfer portal, a lot of people believed that he was going to go link up with his former head coach, Scott Frost, in Nebraska. Now, me personally, I never believed that McKenzie Milton was going to transfer to Nebraska. I felt like McKenzie Milton was going to end up at another program. And remind you that McKenzie Milton has 1 year left of eligibility. So I felt like he would use that one last year that he had to play college football to go to another Power 5 program other than Nebraska. And he surprised me by deciding to go to Florida State. And out of all the schools that McKenzie Milton could have went to, he went to FSU. Now, if you were to tell me that, JT, McKenzie Milton is going to go transfer to FSU for his last year of eligibility, I would say I don't believe you. I really wanted to see McKenzie Milton go to Notre Dame. Okay, remind you that Ian Book is in his last year playing for Notre Dame. So I would have loved to see McKenzie Milton go to Notre Dame. And I feel like McKenzie Milton could have been that quarterback to keep Notre Dame in the national championship picture. So he decides to go to FSU. And the reason why this is such a big surprise to me is because he's going to FSU. And I know FSU has played musical chairs at the quarterback position this year. But Jordan Travis, to me, has looked really good for FSU. And I'm really high on Jordan Travis. Like, I believe that Jordan Travis has a lot of potential. I believe that he could be a superstar for Florida State. He reminds me a lot of Lamar Jackson. His ability to run the football, how fast he is in the open field, and how quickly he accelerates. He goes from 0 to 100 really quickly. So I felt like FSU already had their quarterback of the next couple of years in Jordan Travis. So McKenzie Milton enters the transfer portal, and reportedly one of the first coaches who reached out to McKenzie was Mike Norvell. So Mike Norvell reaches out to McKenzie Milton. He says, hey, if you want to come play college football next year for your last year of eligibility, come play for us. So McKenzie Milton opts to go to FSU, where he is going to have to fight for the starting job, where he could have went to pretty much any single program he wanted to that needed a quarterback and could have pretty much started right away. So this is a really big surprise to me because McKenzie Milton is going to go to FSU and he is going to compete for the starting job. Now, my thing is that pretty much I think that McKenzie Milton is going to win the starting job over Jordan Travis. But Mike Norvell, I thought that he would be trying to build this team up through recruiting, trying to get younger, and by getting younger, develop some of the young guys that you have on your roster, such as Jordan Travis. So the fact that McKenzie Milton is going to go to FSU and compete with Jordan Travis is going to be one of the biggest storylines to watch in the offseason for an FSU program that has had their fair share of ups and downs, mostly downs this year, and Mike Norvell's first year as head coach of the Seminoles. So McKenzie Milton, during his time at UCF, led UCF to an undefeated season 2017-2018. During his career at UCF, he had 8,683 passing yards, 72 touchdowns to 22 interceptions, and completed 61.8% of his passes. He also had 1,078 rushing yards and 20 rushing touchdowns as well. So you're getting a really accomplished quarterback in McKenzie Milton, who, even though he was really good for UCF, we don't know if he is going to be that same quarterback that he was at UCF before he suffered that injury. Remind you that this is a guy who has not played football in 2 years. Normally, we see guys having major injuries and they don't play football in a year. But this is 2 years that McKenzie Milton hasn't played football. Now, he has kind of participated in practices for UCF and things like that. But we haven't really seen McKenzie Milton play in a meaningful game in a very long time. The last time McKenzie Milton played, I was in, 10th grade, I believe? So it's been a very long time since McKenzie Milton has played in a meaningful game. But I'm really excited to see what he does with Florida State and him going against the young core that they have in Jordan Travis. And like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of Jordan Travis. But I think when you look at the current state of FSU's football program right now, you need to have a guy like McKenzie Milton to come in. Because Mike Norvell, he's not necessarily known for being the X's and O's guys, in my opinion. I think Mark Norvell is more of a culture coach, basically. So bringing in McKenzie Milton is very good for that FSU locker room because they need guys like McKenzie Milton that's motivated, that, has a great personality, fun to be around the locker room, great locker room presence, leadership. I think that's what McKenzie Milton is going to bring to this FSU football program. And if he is anything close to what he was before he suffered that injury at UCF, I think he could have the Eric King-like impact for FSU next season. Remind you, when the Eric King transferred to Miami, everybody's like, oh, that's a good pickup. But De'Aaron King has helped change around this Miami football program tremendously in just 1 year. Remind you that Miami was 6-7, losing to Louisiana Tech. Now they are 8-2, and they're going to be once again going back to another bowl game. Even though they did get stumped by UNC, the Miami football program looks to be heading in the right direction. And that is all majority thanks to De'Aaron King. So with McKenzie Milton going to FSU, he could have the De'Aaron King-like impact. So I'm really interested in seeing how this McKenzie Milton to FSU ideal works out. Me personally, I'm really disappointed that he went to FSU because I really wanted to see him go to Notre Dame. I really wanted to see what would happen if McKenzie Milton goes to Notre Dame. And could Notre Dame still be a national championship contender with McKenzie Milton at the helm at quarterback? But he decided to go to FSU. Obviously, Mike Norvell played against McKenzie Milton plenty of times when he was the head coach of Memphis. So he knows what McKenzie Milton is capable of. McKenzie Milton is kind of familiar with Mike Norvell because, he was the quarterback at UCF when they would match up against Memphis. They had a lot of great games, a lot of classics. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more college football videos and NFL videos. And thanks for watching.